Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 15 Good Minutes. Coach B here with the fellas. Charles, my man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, brother.
Great.
Wonderful.
I'll take great. You heard it, LB, right? Great.
Well, yeah, I was waiting for this catchphrase.
So how you doing, LB? You wonderfully excellent?
I am wonderfully excellent today. Since Charles ain't gonna be wonderfully excellent, I will be.
Oh, I love it. Freddie, what's happening, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. That's just a precursor that just lets us know we don't know what Charles is going to say tonight.
All
That's
right,
all.
it could be wide open. He's dressing differently. He's answering questions differently. We don't know what's going to come, but we're glad to have you here, Charles. I got an interesting one today. I read this article early this morning. What's the author's name? Stephen Holder. So he writes for ESPN.com, and the question he was asking was about basically how people feel about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Tush Push or the brotherly shove, whichever you want to call it. He cited a couple of examples in their game, last weekend, and I remember the one. It was a goal to go situation. They ran the Tush Push, didn't get in, and then coach challenged it. The challenge showed once they finally start dinking and dunking, you could see the ball it crossed, but it wasn't enough for them to overturn it. They ran it again, they got in. Turns out on the second one, you had two guys that left early on the line, and apparently that seems to be a thing hard to see, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought the article was phenomenal. It was lengthy. He went into great detail. And then I also found a YouTube video by Dean Blandino, former head of officials for the NFL, and now he's doing analytical work for NCAA football and Fox football. So I wanted to bring it to the group and kind of get your opinion on it, how you feel about it. I will say this: it is illegal in high school football. So when I looked it up, high school football, it violates a rule of assisting a player. In college, you can do it if you don't pull. So to be clear, high school, you can't pull, push, shove, none of it. College, you can push, but you can't pull. NFL, you can do whatever you want right now. And so what I was trying to find out before we came on air, LB, was what other major sport has a rule that differs from one to the other. You know what I mean? It's like in baseball, if you steal second base and they throw you out and they tag you, you're out at every level. But
Right.
here, this is slightly different. And according to what Blandino said, I guess when they voted on it, it was close to not even passing. So, you guys watch a lot of football. I'm gonna start with you, Charles. You've seen it. What do you think about the tush push or the brotherly shove? Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I love it. I love it. I mean, it's a very interesting play in football. Obviously, the Eagles have made it very, very successful, right? And it's kind of impossible. It's kind of an impossible play to stop, right? They can do it from 4 yards out, 1 yard in, right? They can do it. It kind of take me back to other, when something is, when other people, I guess, can't do it, right? Then you want to ban it. Remember, I'm going back and telling my age. When Lou Alcindor, right? He could dunk very easy, and they banned the dunk in '68. They banned it, right? Because they thought the shot was they was banning it because of Lou Alcindor, not because people couldn't dunk. They said it was too easy for them to do that, right? And so this is kind of the same thing with the Eagles have perfected this play, right? And it's kind of literally seemed like it's an unstoppable play, right? And now we're talking about banning it, right? I think it's a pretty fun part of the game. I just personally myself.
Before I turn it over to Freddie, let me ask you this: and if it's so easy, why don't others do it?
That's a good question. That's a really, really good question, right? I mean, the Eagles really kind of have built their offensive line to do that actual play, right? Especially when they get around the goal line. I mean, the Eagles, and I don't know the percentage, right? But probably their percentage of when they're in the 5-yard line has probably, I would assume that it's probably number one in them actually getting in and actually getting a touchdown, right?
It
Because
is.
it is, and I don't know. That's a good question, Rusty. I don't know why other teams don't do it, but I know the Philadelphia have built their team to do that play.
That's fair. Freddie, you've played the game, coached the game, seen it at all levels. Is this a thing or not thing? How do you feel about it?
I really don't care about it, to be honest with you. It's Tampa can stop it. Tampa has done it numerous times. It's really how, to Charles's point, I don't know if Philadelphia built their offensive line specifically for that play. However, the way they built their offensive line, it yields those results that you're looking for when you do touch push, especially from guard to guard, in guard center guard, right? But let's be honest, I really don't care about it because, I mean, is it a good play, bad play, whatever the case may be, because they've been doing this for 2, 3, 4 years now, right? They've been doing it, right? So when you play them, you have to play them. Guess what? You may want to try to, practice stopping it, and because they only do it when it's short yardage or the game is tight, or that's the only time they do it. It's not like this is a built-in offensive, scheme or whatever. It's just getting low and going 1 foot forward a yard or whatever it is you got to get, right? The biggest thing I would say what I don't like about it is the fact that it hasn't evolved. Like somebody run a jet sweep off of it or something like that, right? That's the only thing I can see that I hate about the play, that it hasn't evolved, right? Because you have everybody packed in, and I think somebody tried it once. It may have been Philly. They ran like a fake jet sweep or something like that a couple years ago. Guess what? Tom Brady, he would empty out the five out, right? Get everybody out of the box. Guess what? He make like he's doing audibles and checks and this and that, and he go right on the center and sneak it. Tom Brady been doing this 10
Or
years.
somebody pushing Tom?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not talking about quarterback sneaks.
But it's the same thing.
I don't think it's the same.
Quarterback sneak and tush was the same thing.
Either, Freddie.
If I got three big ass guys behind me pushing me through a whole line, that ain't the same, Freddie.
They don't no, those guys behind, they're really not pushing him necessarily. No, I'm serious, they're not. They're just enforcing no leakage. That's what they're doing.
I'm looking at a film right here. And I've got 26, who is Saquon Barkley. I've got a tight end with both hands on his ass, pushing him through the. I'm looking at the picture right here on ESPN.com. Are we going to say that the Tush Push, they're not pushing? No.
Jalen,
Two hands, Freddie, not one. That's intentional.
No, that's sexual assault, but that's another story.
LB, what are your thoughts on the Tush Push, brother? What do you think?
Well, so as far as the other teams that voted against the Tush Push, develop a defense that can stop it. Then, if you don't like the play, then stop it.
Or an offense that can run it.
Right. If you stop it, they'll stop running it. It's very simple. To Freddie's, I'm sorry for Freddie, but to Charles' point about why Philly's successful at it, one of the things that said in that article, Jalen can squat 600 pounds. So he's strong as
great point.
Whatever, you know what I mean? You got him and you put the players behind him pushing him. I mean, it's hard to stop that, at least for a yard or two. And back to my earlier point, I guess I have wrote down something. And why is it so hard? I don't know why it's hard to stop, to be honest with you. If I know that's what you're going to do as a defense, how can I not be prepared for that? They've really been doing this for seasons now, several seasons now. We all see it. We all know they do it. They do it successfully. Why has nobody developed a defense to stop it? So personally, I keep doing it. Keep doing it until it becomes illegal, or B, somebody stops you and you don't. And when it becomes an ineffective play, then the Eagles will move on to something else. But until somebody stops them, why would they? Why would they stop doing it? I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm kind of split on it. I agree with everything LB just said in the sense that as long as it's legal, I'm fine with it. I just don't like the play. I don't like any play that's an assist. And I've been watching the NFL long enough to remember if LB runs a down and out, Freddie's guarding him. I throw the ball to LB and Freddie has him stood up on the 2. Charles comes along and pushes both of them into the end zone. That used to be a flag because you assisted. So all I'm saying is I don't like the either or nature of it. Now, to LB's point though, is to me it's not just a matter of not stopping it. It goes back to what Freddie said, and he's right. Buffalo tried it and it didn't work, but it didn't work because it goes back to what I think Charles said, which is it is an integral part of what Philly does. You know what I mean? And one of the things that Holder said in the article is you can't practice against it effectively because your B team can't run it like them. You know what I mean? So I don't know, LB. I'm thinking take the offense out of it. Okay, let's say we're not going to run it because to your point, you talked about how much he can squat. The same article mentioned there's a reason that Daniels can't do it. He's too slight. They also talked about Kyler Murray ran it one time and came out and told Kingsbury, I'm not doing that anymore. Because some quarterbacks say a lot of stuff's going on at the bottom of that pile.
Yeah,
Kyler was getting hurt. He said they twisted my fingers, talking about my mama. They're doing all kinds of stuff in the bottom of the pot. But he acknowledged if coach calls the play, he would run it. So I was fascinated with the difference of opinions. And I'm simply saying, if you don't run it, don't try. But defensively, kind of goes back to what you're saying, LB. I'm taking, I don't know, 5-10 minutes of every practice and doing some kind of drill that just makes the D line come off the ball mano a mano.
Yep.
I don't know that you have to get that low, LB. I'm thinking if I can squat too, I'm 370 pounds. I should be able to push that O lineman back into him because he's not doing that thing where like Dak Prescott has a habit of diving over the line.
Exactly.
He's not doing that. He's getting low and he has 3 sets of hands on him along with that 600 pounds, and they're pushing it through. I'm fascinated that it's unstoppable. Honestly, I am. You know? I can't think of any other thing, Charles, where you know it's coming. You know it's coming.
Yeah. And the other thing about the NFL, I mean, they've taken so many of the. I mean, we all grew up except for Freddie, we all grew up in the era where people was getting clocked across the middle. They was getting closed.
Ronnie Lott.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They were really football was a brutal sport back in the 60s.
Wow. Yes.
And now they've made it, you touch this guy too soon, it's 5 yards. You can't touch the quarterback. If a guy running across the middle, you crack him, that's a 15-yard penalty. They've done so many things to make the game, I hate to say safer, but I guess that's probably the right word.
It's not just safer. I'll take it one step further, LB. I think it's because they want to see more points scored. And safety or not, to me, and I used to say this about Brady, if you are dressed like I'm dressed and we're on the same field, you're fair game. If I get an interception and some 300-pound dude can just pound me into the ground, but I can't touch number 12 because he's too precious with the points, I think that's wrong. I think another example of that is like you use the same example. If a defender is rushing and I'm not saying face mask, Charles. If I just touch your helmet, hands to the face against coach's team.
Right.
Keep in mind, LB can be a wide out. I thought when you catch it, he can stiff arm me to the ground.
Yep.
In the face. But that defender doesn't get any love from the officials. He just gets stiff arm for 7 yards. That's the kind of thing that just, I'm just saying, call it both. If you're playing football, you watch rugby.
Yes.
Every damn player is eligible to get his ass busted or to go score a touchdown or to jump on the pile. And that's kind of what the NFL used to be like. And again, I want it to be safe, but it's way one-sided offense to defense, in my opinion. A straight arm is a straight arm. A hand to the face is a hand to the face.
But Rusty, you gotta admit that the rules hadn't stopped the popularity of the NFL. right? It's
No, I think it's enhanced it. You've
it
made it to
has
the point
it
that I can't
has
touch a
it
quarterback.
has it has it
Right.
hasn't,
That's
and
yeah.
it's
Let me
it's
ask you this: do you prefer that over the days
oh
where
no,
your quarterback used to go out there and
no,
be mano a
I
mano?
prefer the old school. I prefer
Mm-hmm.
the old school.
Me too.
It was you knew what you was gonna get every Sunday,
Yeah.
right? It was going to be a war in the trenches,
Body
right?
bags.
And I'm telling you,
Real hits.
people carted off the field.
But
No
honestly,
such thing
Charles,
as
what I'm saying, Charles, is I
protocol.
don't want people to get hurt.
Yeah, but
But I'm saying you have clearly, there's not even a 50-50 or 55-45. The split of who we are favoring
yeah,
versus non. And to LB's point, if I so much as touch him when he's running down the field, oh, pass interference, defensive hold.
It's two different things,
You
right?
could call that on every play, Freddie.
It's two different things because when you talk about it's so many different layers to all of this, like you guys alluded to back in the days. Well, guess what? The league then was about people, having a job, paying their bills, and having something to do on Sundays or whatever the case be. Now Sundays is about advertisement and endorsements and growing the brand of a player, a team, and an organization. Right, which all of that, those things from the past, it laid the groundwork and the foundation to where we are now. And then when you look at, we can't touch a quarterback's helmet, but you can stiff on them. Well, you got to look at it like this: quarterbacks, punters, and kickers. They're deemed defenseless players, right? So they don't
Not if
have.
you're running. You take off from that
No, no, no,
pocket,
no, no.
I
But if
still
you're
can't
running,
touch you in the helmet.
if a quarterback is running, he's no longer a defenseless player.
I
But
know
when
that.
but when he's in the pocket, he's considered a defensive player. So when they, try to, go around sack and they graze his helmet, yeah, they're gonna. Now, do I think that's a little bit ticky tack? Yeah, I do. I do
Freddie,
think
they
it's
don't
ticky
even do
tack.
kickoffs the same no more. Everybody's standing still on the kickoff, man.
Right.
Come
They
on, man.
shouldn't even do kickoffs anymore. Just put the
they
ball at the
should.
20 and
Right.
start.
Just
They
start
And
on
they're
the
should.
gonna do what
25.
they're doing now. Yeah.
I don't
Agreed.
know. We could carry that conversation on, and I think there's a lot of different avenues we can go down. I think we've got the general consensus is that if it's legal, you either perfect doing it or you perfect stopping it, or you don't do anything. And I think Philadelphia has done something that nobody else has been able to do. And I think Charles is on to something. I do think they put more time into it. I think it's one thing to say we're going to call it in the huddle during the game, but if you haven't gone through that on your Tuesday, Wednesday walkthrough, it might be a little bit different. Don't know. Before we go, let me see if the fellas have something to say. I'm going to start with you, Freddie. You got something to say today, buddy?
When are we gonna get Claude back on the show?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. For those that you don't know, Freddie is calling out Claude, our good friend and co-host of the podcast Golf DMV. I think Claude listens to us. I think the message has been heard.
Yes. He
Okay.
listens regularly.
I mean, can we get Claude on the show? Florida State plays Miami in 3 weeks. Can we get him on
Before that game.
the Tuesday before that game? I mean, Claude, if you listening, I'm just saying. I'm,
Okay.
if you can't, if you're out of the country, you working or whatever, I get it.
Nah,
But
he gonna be here. He gonna be here. I can vouch for.
know,
I know his schedule. He gonna be around.
if he can't come on and talk about everything, he can't say nothing else about Florida State. Just keep
Mm,
it. Come on,
mm.
Charles.
Okay.
Come on. That's what I had to say.
I like it. LB, how about you, buddy? You got something to say today?
I'm gonna say something that I've said a million times in this show. I was on Route 70 today. People get out. Everybody doing the Freddie. Everybody's doing the Freddie. If I had won the lotto for that $1 billion, I would have had a special vehicle made that would take your car, lift it up out of my way, and put you over in the right lane where you belong. Hopefully, scared you enough that you would never get in the left lane again the rest of your life.
He
But I'm
actually calls it the Freddie now. He has named that driver across this country the Freddie. You
The
can't beat that.
Freddies.
I love
These
it.
damn Freddies are everywhere. Man, woman, doesn't matter the nationality. It's surprising to me. Young, old, they're everywhere. They're plague. They're plague. That's what they are. They're plague.
Where are you going? Where are you in a rush to?
I'm trying to get back up here so I can get to the show on time.
Well, get
They
there
hog in
safe.
the left lane.
That's why auto insurance rates are so damn high because people like you are in a rush to get there to wherever you're trying to go.
Charles, what you got to say today, buddy?
I love this conversation.
I do too, and I think we're gonna keep it going. I've got nothing as well. So, as always, appreciate you guys rocking with us. There's some we were talking about it before we came on air about the last couple of weeks of Major League Baseball and my team. They're making it much more difficult than they need to right now. Hopefully, your team is doing well. Playoffs are coming. We'll do a playoff spotlight on the wild card once we know everybody that's in it. Until then, hope you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you guys next time. We're out.